everyone, thank you for joining us. So this session is on the trends and innovations set to shape the industry in the year ahead. And we have three very interesting panellists to discuss this with us. As we know, the beauty industry never stands still. It's always changing, new technologies, advanced treatments, and changing client behaviour. So to discuss this, we've got Jenny Story in the middle here. Jenny's worked across salons and spas before becoming a business owner and educator. For the past 15 years, she's run Urban Retreat Salon and founded an award-winning training academy. And then on the far end, we have Joe Serrant. Joe's a facialist, massage therapist, and founder of Skin and Soul Academy. So she helps salons and brands create unique treatments. And then we've also got Jason Downs, who's managing director of Vagaro, a leading salon management software company and headline sponsor of the show. And Jason can share a unique insight into client behaviour and data-driven trends. So I guess to kick us off, to set the scene, what would you say is kind of, if you had to sum up the beauty industry in one word right now, what would it be and why? Jenny.
No pressure. I would say evolving with professional standards getting raised, clients being more aware of what's expected, high expectations, and with legislations changing, I think it's evolving.
Excellent.
I think for me, I totally agree with that. For me, it's like a bit more intentional, and I use that a lot in my work, but I think people are becoming much more intentional about the way they're doing things and the results they're actually wanting, and I think that leans into evolving as well, doesn't it? Yeah.
I would say it's competitive, and it's so important then as a salon owner, how you're standing out yourself, what makes you different, and how are you looking after your customers, your clients the most. But yeah, highly competitive, and you'll see that throughout this show here. There's so much going on.
Excellent, thank you. So I suppose on a more experiential level within your own businesses, what is happening within your business right now that makes you think, right, this is where the industry is headed? What's changing in your business, Joe?
So I've obviously niched quite a lot. Obviously it's facial massage that I do. So for me, I am seeing a huge want and drive from therapists to learn about really intentional techniques and the way they can level themselves up. So yes, we've got incredible technology in our industry right now, but I think a lot of it comes from here and from them and how they can actually learn to educate their mindset. And obviously I do technique training, but a lot of massage comes from the soul. I'm completely woo, so it's just like, but I do think the more you can elevate yourself, you really can elevate then everything that you've got, the technology and the skills that you've got around you.
Absolutely.
From a slightly different standpoint, from the academy side, legislation's changing in Scotland on March 2026, so microneedling, micropigmentation, piercing, tattooing, etc., peels, all need to be level 4 Ofqual regulated qualifications. So if you hold an accreditation in that, at the moment we are kind of foreseeing the change, so we've created a bridge the gap policy, so someone that's competent and safe within the industry that currently holds those accreditations, we're bridging that gap so they can level up to their level 4 before the changes happen in Scotland. I know England, they were set for next year, but it's been put on hold just now, but that hopefully come not far behind.
But certainly something that's really influencing the market right now in the skincare and aesthetics field,
And a totally different perspective, as a technology business, guess what? The biggest trend that's emerging is AI. And what Vagaro is doing is investing heavily in that to make sure that our customers can benefit from it. So helping you run your marketing campaign so you don't have to do much thinking, just a few keywords and suddenly the magic computer and the AI does it all, from making sure that when you're busy doing your treatments, automatically AI can actually take your bookings and take your questions for you. So AI is just going to be totally transformed technology and all our lives, and I would urge everybody just to embrace it. We're in a very lucky space because it's not a threat for our industry, it's actually an enabler, whilst in other industries it's a real threat and people are really worried about their jobs, whilst I just look at it that AI will help you run your business better, and so you can focus from the soul, from the heart in terms of your clients.
That's a really interesting point, and actually we were going to touch on AI. Are you using AI on your business now? How do you think salons should be using it now, and how should they in the year ahead?
So I've got a salon as well as a training academy. For the salon, we've got a marketing girl, but we plan together our marketing strategy using AI. So we do marketing planners every month, and it's based on our brand values. And it does a monthly planner of what's going to go out and what the captions are and how we can convert it to email as well.
Yeah, when I use it, I think it's an incredible tool, and it enables you to focus more on your time as a therapist, I think. And also, so I run the academy, but I have a small clinic room at home. But AI allows me to present myself in the way I want to present myself to the world in a very professional way. And I think small businesses can really use it to allow themselves to stand out and be seen a little bit more. So I don't think we should be afraid of it. I think we should allow it to come in, like you said, help, and give us the time back to work with our clients who it actually can't take that job away from us, which, like you say, it keeps our job very safe.
I think it's fascinating when you think about how busy everybody is in terms of often when I speak to our clients, it's like not only are they running their business, they're also running their family. They've also got some interesting hobbies as well to do. And it's like, how do I do all this stuff? I see your diary. I see how busy you are. And it's almost like, great, there's technology, and specifically AI can give you that time back. And I think it really does power you up. It's a great point about, you're only feeling like you're a small business, but actually you can have big business tools, and you can promote yourself very professionally and at scale if you use all the tools that are there. But it's got to come from you. I love the fact you talk about your values. So your brand should always be about your values, and your marketing should always be about your values. Yeah.
Absolutely, and that's interesting. So I suppose if salons and people listening aren't using AI at all, or are maybe just using ChatGPT, what should they be doing right now? What's kind of one tip on a practical level to integrate AI into your business right now?
I'm going to pass it.
I think there's one in terms of getting a software that actually will do that for you, and Vagaro does help you run your business. So my one tip would be sign up to Vagaro, but yes, I am biased, because that will give you your time back, because you've got a tool that can run everything from your bookings to your marketing to your payments. That will really help. But I would just think, it's not a bad starting point, ChatGPT. Just start using that instead of Google. It will suddenly help you get familiar with that bit of technology. Again, don't be scared of it. Just put your toe in a little bit, and I think you'll be fascinated, and really the benefit of how it will actually learn off you as well.
Yeah.
So suddenly it does tailor your response. So that would be my little tip, would be actually start with ChatGPT instead of Google when you're doing a search. That will get you into AI quicker than you probably expect. And then there's loads of courses that are free online courses just to get some tips as well. So.
Definitely, and as you say, the more you train it and the more you put into it, the more you get out, isn't it? It's like you can teach it to help you. And so focusing a bit more on the technology side, but also on treatments, what is the one treatment or technology that you see really moving from a nice to have to a must have over the next year?
I think inclusivity is key, where there's a lot of kind of menopause chat these days and being more apparent in women's hormones and how it fluctuates. So we launched a menopause massage that we've integrated within our salon, and it's been a massive game changer for us for being quite inclusive with that demographic of clients.
Yeah, again, my focus is facial massage. I see with the therapists that are coming to train with me, there's a huge bring back to the holistic and wellness side, and I'm seeing people training in other areas of our industry and bringing wellness in. I think for me, if you can create an incredible experience around either your treatment or a treatment protocol, like a planning over, say, 6 months, and you're creating a really beautiful experience, making people feel part of your salon or your community, I see that as being quite a big thing. Like this whole wellness come back. The technology is incredible to support all of that. But if you don't support the person, you can't kind of get that glow through the technology, if you understand what I mean. It's like bringing that whole nurturing and connection exactly back.
I think it's also worth noting at the moment there is a lot of people are wanting to invest in themselves but are actually struggling financially. So again, it's also making sure that when you are packaging up your services, you're doing it in the most affordable way for them as well. So, and that could be anything from doing some ad hoc offers and some promotional codes to actually having some form of memberships as well, which you can actually reward loyalty to your loyal customers. But it's tough out there, and I think it's important to take that into account as well.
Yeah. And I think, Joe, you touched on, obviously there's been a big increase in popularity of the more wellness side and the holistic side, and people, particularly as we know, post-COVID, people having a bit more interest in self-care and taking that time. How can we kind of integrate that? Obviously, in tandem, there's been a huge rise in the aesthetics market, and a lot of beauty therapists moving over to the more advanced treatments. How can you kind of integrate the two, I suppose, so you're making the most profitable treatment for your business, but you're also not forgetting that holistic, personal side?
I think from a profit point of view, you touched on that a second ago, membership. So trying to think about how you can bring clients into your salon and have them work through the journey of your salon. So whether it's microneedling, whether you've got laser, whether you've got massage, it's like how can that client best benefit from the range, the treatments that you do, the journey that you create? Are there treatments that you can bring together to create something really unique and really beautiful? I just think from a profit point of view, it's about combining the things. And I know we hear a lot about this, like combination treatment protocols, but that's what makes you unique, because it's your combination, your values, your skills, your knowledge, the things that you absolutely love doing, the passion that drives you, that's your salon. So the more you can bring that in, whether it's niche like me and it's just facial massage, or whether you've got a fantastic array of treatments and you can really take your client on a journey through that.
Absolutely. And you touched on memberships, which I think is really interesting, because we're hearing quite a lot that is the future for a lot of salons, to get that kind of regular income through memberships and monthly payments. Are you doing that within your salons, or have you made that work?
We actually do that with our salon. We've got different tiers. So we've got a standard membership and it's £50 a month, but they get £60 of credit in their account, but they have to use it within the month, 10% off products. And then we've got a platinum membership, which is £100 a month, £120 credit and 20% off products, and then they get asked to be models for new initiatives that we're sending out, etc. as well. So with the amount of people that we have signed up at the moment, we've got £5,000 coming into our business before we even do any other clients monthly.
Yeah. So you know you've got your overheads covered before you need to make the profit.
Now, clearly, you both are running established, businesses. You've got a great understanding of marketing and what's successful. For people who are new to this journey, I always say, again, make sure you find a partner with technology that can help do that marketing for you. Our team don't know anything about what you do in terms of the treatments. We can't do that, but we can help you build marketing campaigns. We can help you run your business more effectively. But it's also about using the skills you have and your network and making sure it comes alive for you, because your journey and your business is unique. And I think it's important that you keep it unique, because that's what you'll get the value.
Definitely. And Jason, I suppose from your software's view, do you see any kind of trends in terms of what people are booking, when they're booking, how they're booking? Are there shifts, I suppose, in client behaviour that you've noticed through the data?
Yeah, literally. There's a huge, once people go online in terms of a booking platform, most of the bookings are actually done outside a normal working day, which I always think is great for a business owner, because while you're focusing on your customers who are there, at night when you're focusing on other stuff, your customers are just booking. So that's a real shift in terms of when people are booking. We also are finding, it's interesting you raised the point about how people are diversifying in services. So there are more and more businesses who are doing more and more different services to really give that whole solution to their client base. So that's probably the two things we've noticed the most.
Okay, excellent. And I suppose with a focus on AI and technology and making sure everyone's on top of the trends, how do we continue to market the human touch, I suppose, which is what ultimately beauty therapy is all about? How do we kind of get that balance and be like, right, this is what we're about, but we are using technology to help achieve that?
So we're back to your song.
So I obviously embrace technology, but my role within my clinic is to exactly do that, bring that human touch back to it, which is something that technology can't do. But you can use your human eye, your human connection with your technology. So I don't believe it has to be completely separated. But again, it's bringing that wellness element back to it, looking after your client as a whole, learning about how your energy affects your clients, and that you don't have to be of any belief particularly to think about yourself as someone who's energetic and someone who has energy. You attract your people in by being either the softly spoken massage therapist or someone who's a little bit more vivacious, and energised, and it's just about being you. And the more you bring you to your treatments, the more unique those treatments will be. And I just think for me that's what creates a salon and a business.
I totally agree with everything you just said as well. I don't think you can replace the human touch and the connection, the empathy that you give. That's how you build your client rapport, is from that connection.
Why they come to you.
Yeah, exactly. People buy people, and that's how you connect with your client avatar as well. So yes, technology does have a place, but you can't replace that connection.
I think it's important. Technology should be at the back. You should be at the front, because it's your business, it's your customer, and that's why I just urge that the technology work behind the scenes, because actually the real work is done when you're doing your treatment. So it's the in-person that is so key, but let the technology behind it just power you up and give you a bit more time back.
Absolutely. I think one other big change we're seeing across the industry is a change in expectations from therapists coming into the market. They want more flexibility, they want career progression, different kinds of training. How do we navigate that as a trend, if you like, but as a change in kind of culture, really?
We were just talking before about team members, weren't we? So I've got 15 members in my salon, and they've all picked and choose their flexible hours, and it's the same hours every week. Majority of our girls are mums, so I'm a mum myself. I know how difficult it can be to balance home life. And for career progression, we're lucky enough to have the academy, but maybe invest in your therapists, do individual learning plans, do goal setting for the year as well, and meeting their expectations, because you'll get longevity out your team members as well. Most of our team members have been with us for such a long period of time, and it's because we put that investment into them and their progression.
I think it's really worth remembering as well that education can be anything, so it doesn't have to be a really expensive, a year, 2-year course. You can educate yourself through books, through webinars, through things like this. So just enabling yourself to step up and level up. We have to continue evolving ourselves to keep up with this industry. It's fast moving, but just being able to kind of ground yourself into that and think, where's your vision? What do you want to be and do? And kind of just work your way up there. And like I said, it doesn't have to be through expensive courses. You can just educate yourself through events like this, like I say, and books, and the internet's an incredible space if you use it wisely as well.
Yeah, and I think you've invested in your time on a Sunday to come to these type of events, and I think this is a great way to get some network, see some of the latest trends, and then follow that up when you go back to your business.
Excellent, thank you. I was jumping about a bit, but just touching back on marketing. Obviously, in terms of keeping on top of trends, social media is a really important one, and it can be tough to keep on top of how the algorithms change and what you need to be doing there. But beyond social media, where's the kind of client engagement coming from? Where do you see the future of that? Where do people need to be looking and promoting themselves, and how do they need to be promoting themselves as the market changes?
I think so. I'm coming at this from an academy point of view. I do have a salon as well, but one of the things that I'm seeing working really well for me personally is collaboration. So community and collaboration, and it really doesn't cost anything. So obviously social media is a huge presence, and I'm not really sure if that takes over that, because we can have such a wide reach with social media. But I really feel like if you can identify key businesses perhaps in your area who you can collaborate with and just bring each other up. The industry is competitive, but I don't believe competition has to be a negative thing. I think it can be really positive. I started in this industry 30 years ago, and it was a very competitive industry then. Salons down the road weren't friends. But I really feel like we are now. I've just seen such a difference through COVID. And then beyond that, where salons and brands and companies are bringing together community spaces, again, it's looking after the wellness of people, but there's some beautiful people sat in the front here that I've collaborated with, and I just think we elevate each other when we do that.
I totally agree. Collaboration is key, and it has changed massively over the years as well, because I'm the same era as you. It wasn't very friendly with each other in the beginning. What I'm seeing more and more from a salon standpoint as well, when you collaborate with others and similar sectors like fitness. You could do pop-ups in various areas. Go into call centres, do pop-ups if you're a massage therapist as well, and that means you can earn some extra cash that way. But then it's an incentivizing that workforce as well in wellness.
I find it fascinating that a lot of energy is spent on acquiring new customers. So everyone's trying to think of new ideas to do that, and yet actually it's always your customer base that you can get more from. It's your customers who are choosing to come to you, and it's almost just asking them sometimes, have they got any other referrals? Have they got anybody in their network that could also benefit from the services you do? But I would spend a lot more time on maximising the customers as well as using tools like Vagaro's Marketplace to get you new customers. But your customer base is so valuable, and it's yours. Yeah.
Could you give us any examples? What's kind of been your most successful marketing initiative? Has there been anything that sticks in the mind that you're like, I did that and actually that's the one I'd repeat, or that's the one I'd recommend people try? So it's a bit of an on-the-spot question.
Hard, aren't they? Yeah.
Actually, last year, our salon unfortunately suffered a really bad fire, so we were out of business for about 6 months. We actually invested in a PR team, and we brought micro-influencers in, so not big influencers, but micro-influencers in our community that were still in the cusp of being popular on social media, but just wanted that wee elevation, gave them a free treatment. They put it all over their social locally, and business boomed just to get back on our feet again.
Really interesting. Because kind of as you touched on earlier, it's not always about how big the following is, it's who those people are. If they're local to you and they're the right market for you, then it's much more valuable.
Yeah, I mean, that's brilliant. And to be able to turn that negative into something really positive as well. I think getting yourself out there. So for me, obviously, having the opportunity to do things like this, and again, it doesn't have to be as big, but as soon as you start perhaps standing out a little bit more and maybe just speaking a little bit more from something that means a lot to you. So for me, the biggest thing has been about speaking about working from your heart and soul and talking about energy, and that will put a lot of people off, but it'll bring the people that believe that and feel like that to me. So for me, it was when I started getting a bit braver about speaking about what this industry means to me. So yeah, although it wasn't a marketing thing as such, it was just that notice of change when I started speaking more about things that, like I say, this industry means to me.
Yeah. So kind of creating your brand and being your brand, I think is important. People know you, yeah.
There's a lovely phrase there when you're talking about being brave, because in marketing you really do need to be brave to help you stand out and promote. So I always say to people, be a bit louder, be a bit braver. One of the things from Vagaro we're pleased with is we have this website that ultimately, I'd say, updates itself. So as you're changing prices and hours you're working, automatically it will link into your website and everything gets updated. So what we did this year, because we were getting a lot of people interested in it, but they weren't making the next step. So we said, okay, what we'll do is we have a full-time designer who will actually design your website for you for free. And as soon as we did that, people were leaning in and going, wow, you can make my little business look like one of these great, really big businesses. I go, yeah, and it literally doesn't take long. And we always say, just get your ideas. We want your brand, your images, and then we can make it work for you. But it's got to come from the soul. It's got to come from yourself. So, but it was fascinating how quickly it changed when we said, don't worry, we'll do the work. And then suddenly people were leaning into it.
Well, yeah, people are time poor, as we know, and yeah, as much as you can help them out. So looking ahead, if you were starting a beauty business today with all of the knowledge that you have from all of the years, what would you do differently to make it more resilient for the future?
I think memberships are a really big thing, to be fair. I mean, I'm creating them in my training, and I think I've got a very loyal clientele that kind of, my salon seems to just run itself in the background now. If I had to start that again from scratch, it would definitely be to bring people into a more community type feeling. So having a membership style where people come in and they can see the journey that they can go on with me, whether it's over the lifetime of them being with me or over the next 3 months or over the next 6 months. So it's kind of planned out for them a little bit more. It's a way I'm trying to take new customers, but because I've got so many loyal ones, I don't actually see that many new ones coming in because I can't get them in. But I just think that for new salons could be an incredible game changer.
I think going back to what you said earlier about being braver and putting yourself out there more, I think I would have started networking a lot quicker than what I did as well, and realised that my voice actually mattered as well as other people's in the industry. You're always self-sabotaging, aren't we? That we're scared of saying the wrong thing. But networking for me has massively helped both Salon and our training academy, and it's opened doors that we never thought would have opened for us. So yes, networking is huge.
There's some great points there. I often say when people are starting the journey of a business, what do you want to be famous for? So what are you going to be really good at, and home in on that at the beginning? Because you can branch out down the line, but at the beginning, what are you going to be famous for? What are you going to do really well?
Yeah, really good point. Yeah, getting yourself out there. It can be very hard to do, as you say. I think a lot of us suffer from imposter syndrome, and once you do it and you meet people and you get in there and you know, but yeah, it can be very difficult to begin. So I suppose, again, putting you on the spot a little bit, what's one investment or change in strategy that has really helped your business growth? What's kind of one moment where you've thought that's something that was really key to my business growth?
I think we're very lucky, because once we started going into the headline sponsorship with the PB group, it really got us standing out from our peer group in terms of, wow, that's Vagaro, that's what they do, and they are absolutely working in partnership with the professional beauty group.
Excellent answer.
I think from someone that juggles a couple of businesses, I have a business partner, but we've got a lot of staff to manage as well. Delegation is key for us to the right people, and investing, making small investments, so incremental upgrades. So we invested in a social media person for our business. It's taken a lot off our plate. It looks more streamlined and professional, and it's attracted better customers in our direction as well. So as much as you think you might not be able to afford it, it's amazing that you could go to the local college, ask if there's a student that needs to fulfil portfolio work or something like that. So it doesn't always seem as expensive as what it is.
Yeah, mine was investing in a business coach. What I think is really interesting is nobody said a particular piece of technology. It's all been investing in yourself as growth. So when I invested in a business coach, I started understanding about money, how to use my money wisely, where it was going, and again, it's just about that getting braver and standing out for something rather than everything. And the braver we can get, the more we can speak about that. It just helps you stand out and, yeah, be louder.
Some lovely points there. I think, again, part of the bravery is you want better customers. It's okay to want better customers, and really have that ambition for yourself that you are running your business. You're in control. That's the whole idea of being a business owner. It's yours. So you can actually make those brave decisions to choose what you do with your day-to-day activities.
So, looking ahead to next year, what do you think is the biggest opportunity for beauty businesses in 2026, and what is the biggest pitfall to avoid?
They're not getting tricky, aren't they?
Again, these on-the-spot questions, but
There we go, you can buy that one.
what opportunities, maybe in the year ahead, what opportunities do you think this is where beauty businesses need to be looking?
I think levelling up, looking at what you've currently hold in qualifications and looking at where the gaps are. Your customers are becoming much more informed these days by social media, by the BBC News, everything that's in it. So level up what you can. If you're an owner of a business, really invest in your team members, because they're going to stay loyal to you and they'll help you grow as well in turn.
Well, I'm going to say facial massage, because I just think everybody should be able to give a really beautiful facial just with your hands, even if it's not like the full, maybe like sculpting massage experience, but just something that's really connected, something that you can really give a really gorgeous experience, even if it's like your consultation style facial. Did you say trends to go as well?
Yeah. What do you think is the pitfall to avoid, or a trend that you think is gonna
I would love to see kids' skincare just go. I don't mean like teenagers who are needing your help with things, but I would really love to see this focus on children and their skincare just be gone. Yeah. That's for me.
And the TikTok trends to go as well, because the influencers don't know enough of the background behind the products. It's the professionals that should be on TikTok selling the products and promoting the products.
Absolutely, and that's actually a really good point. I think as beauty professionals, would you have any advice on that level of how do you cut through that noise of TikTok and of influencers who may not have a beauty background and kind of get your expertise recognised and out there?
Again, that's that being loud. So it's just exactly what you said before. We've got to be louder. We've got to speak about it. The influencers are there doing their job. We've got to do ours and make sure we stand out for what we believe as well.
It's fascinating when people talk about influencers. It's actually the micro influencers in this sector have the most influence because it's in your area and in your target demographic, which is really the key thing to attract. But it is hard because there's just a lot of noise out there. So again, for your business, you've just got to think about, again, what are you going to be famous for? How are your values coming out? And work really hard on it, because it is just cluttered out there. Yeah.
Absolutely. And just finally, if you had to make one bold prediction about where the industry will be a year from now, what will change, what will it look like, how will it be different, what would you say?
Oh, there'll be more people on Vagaro and that will make life easier for them. So that'll be the big shift, yeah.
I want it to become more regulated, so the professionals who have put all the work in and put longevity into and hard-earned cash into their qualifications stand at the forefront.
Yeah, and I agree, and also just the wellness, like really dealing with the human being that's in front of you. I just think that the whole wellness and experience side of our industry is going to be huge.
Excellent, thank you. So we've got a bit of time if anyone has any questions in the audience.
Hi Jenny, I'm Claire.
Hi.
I'm really interested in your beauty packages. I wondered if you could tell me a little bit more as to what that looks like within your salon. Is it something that I've thought about as well? Because I'm quite new to the industry and I've thought about it as a way to try and attract more clients in.
So do you mean in terms of the memberships that we do, or
Yes.
just treatment packages in general?
Sorry, the memberships.
The memberships?
Yes, please.
So the memberships just come as a flat fee. So we've got a golden circle that we call it. We trialled it 4 years ago. Just again at £50 a month, and they got £65 back at that point, and 20%. We gave loads away. Our accountant gave us into trouble for that one, just to see how it would go. We only opened it for 20 people to see if people would take it up and it would be regular income. It worked. So we capped it at the £20 because we were giving a lot away. And then within time, that's how it grew. So we're now, our standard VIP package is £50 a month, £10 added on. So it's like a £60 credit. They get 10% off their products, and their platinum membership is £100 a month, £120 credit, and 20% off of products. But they also get invited in for VIP evenings that we do, launches of new skincare ranges. They get first shot of the facials that we're doing. They get to go on social media and give us testimonials if they wish to do so. We hold Christmas events as well. So those platinum memberships, they get to come in an hour earlier than everybody else. So they get to pick the best packages that we've got on offer, or gift vouchers available that we've got on offer, because we cap it depending on the volumes that we're selling. Does that answer what you're doing? Yeah.
Hi.
So do you do training in that?
Yes, yeah, I do.
Where are you based?
We're in London and Burton-on-Trent, and also sometimes in Berkshire as well.
And what's your website?
Website, it's Skin and Soul Academy.
Thank
so
you.
skinandsoul.uk.
Thank you.
Thank you. I didn't plant her there, I promise.
I was wondering, what's all of your biggest marketing mistake that you've made to avoid?
Marketing mistake.
Like, have you ever tried something and it's just not worked out? Like,
Oh, yeah.
anything
Plenty that hasn't
like,
worked,
I
but
mean,
you just
like your
let
biggest
it
one to
slide.
avoid. Just
Nothing
let it slide.
Yeah, nothing that... I do remember putting a post out that felt quite vulnerable once, and you kind of put it out there and then think, I really hope nobody saw that. But no, honestly, I just think just try, because you'd be surprised how little people see things, really. They're scrolling and it's gone, and if it is a mistake, it probably just means that nobody's seen it and it hasn't worked. So just move on. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Have you got one?
Oh, I've done loads as well that have bombed, but consistency is key. Sometimes when you put something in social media, our biggest problem in the beginning, we thought if we put out this great package, everybody's going to go for it. They see it once and then forget about it. And it used to be back then that the consumer had to see something 7 times before they would purchase. But I think it's something crazy, like 25 times now, because we live in an instant gratification world of TikTok and stuff. So if you've got something you're really passionate about that you really do want to market, put it everywhere and consistently put it everywhere daily, and people will buy into it.
I think one, I always say there's no mistakes in marketing, just try stuff, because you are just promoting your business. What we find often people are doing that I always think is just wasting money is they're not targeting their campaigns. So a lot of that mistake is literally be super focused, and you can do that within the software in terms of targeting particular services, particular customer groups, rather than do a mass marketing, because ultimately mass marketing doesn't work. It needs to be targeted marketing.
This is just a general question, but are you noticing with now in the salon industry that to build obviously a salon and a salon brand, it's not how it used to look like? So people have realised they're making a lot more money now being self-employed rather than being employed by someone else. Have you found that as a struggle in the industry to keep a salon name and brand, everyone under that one brand, instead of now you find a lot of salons, there's like 5 different people in there, self-employed, or under the one brand. Have you found that with your basically salons? Does that answer?
Yeah, I understand. But for our salon, we only employ, we don't do self-employment. I think the key for us is keeping our team happy and really understanding what's going on in their lives. It's not just about, and understanding them, what are they stimulated by? Is it cash? Is it praise? Is it really investing into their work-life balance, flexibility? We are so lucky that all our team members have been with us for many, many years, and they believe in the brand as well. We take them to the award ceremonies, we take them to everywhere we go. We don't just do it as business owners. We're not the face of the business, they're the face of the business as well. So as we grow, they grow too, and they get more money, more bonuses, more incentives, and that's what kind of makes us stand different, I think, as well. With the self-employment, that's changing all next year with regulations. HMRC are really cramming down on what that looks like. You can't just do like split rate anymore, because if you're still expecting that person to go against your brand values, wear the same uniform as you, you're more or less employed, but you're just doing a split cut from it, and HMRC are going to crack down on that in the next year or so.
I think you've got to be really careful about what your business model is, and we see lots of successful self-employed models, which is great, and the software can do that. But also, I always urge people, so just be careful about looking at avoiding the tax, focus more on growing your business, and that will actually help you in the long-term profitability. And one of the best ways to grow your business and your brand is your employees, because they're your team, your business. So I'm a big fan of people who are still committed to that employed model. I think that will be long-term. We will see a bounce back, because you're right, the Inland Revenue are looking at the tax avoidance that is going on, and they are clamping down. And I think sometimes be brave, have confidence that you can run this business, you can build a team, you can build a great business if you work hard and care about it.
It's been a really insightful panel. We've learned a lot about memberships and about embodying your brand and collaboration, the importance of collaboration. So it's been really interesting. Thank you all, and thank you all for joining us.